So, very good afternoon to you and a warm welcome for the second day of the 2019 Scottish National Age Group Championships here at Tollcross International Swimming Centre. I'm Duncan McKinnell and I'll be guiding you through the action this evening, and I'm joined in the commentary box tonight by Derek McGowan, coach at East Kilbride Swimming Club and part of the South Lanarkshire outfit, and also High Hegian in the West District nowadays, Derek.
Yeah, thanks Duncan. Evening everyone, and also yourself obviously at the East District now as Vice President, Duncan, so yeah, it's good.
So we've got some interesting stuff coming up tonight, but we had a great first night, didn't we, last night in the pool. Some really exciting action, very tight races.
Yeah, absolutely. As ever at Scottish National Age Groups, there's always some tight events to kick us off, and all through the 5 days. So in some of these swimmers will be coming up in the next 4 days as we see of finals as well.
Yes, it's some really highlights then. We had a couple of, three in fact, records. We had 2 age group records. Katie Robertson, of course, has been writing the breaststroke records through the age group, South Ayrshire swimmer, and last night it was the 50 breaststroke for her. So looked good. Yeah,
Katie looked very, very strong last night, as we said, and she just keeps seem to take records over and over at the moment.
And then the youngster just turned 13 from East Lothian, Stefan Kravis, in the 50 butterfly.
Yeah, Stefan's an exciting prospect for the future. Certainly he's blowing most of his age group out the water at the moment, and be interesting to see how he goes in these multiple events again tonight.
Then we had an innovation we've not had before in these national age groups. We finished off with a mixed relay. That was fun.
Yeah, we did. Obviously it's becoming more and more into the fore at our international competitions, and it's really good fun to get involved, and it gets some of those younger swimmers swimming through the final sessions as well that maybe don't always get an opportunity.
So that was all last night, that's in the past, but we've got an exciting night's competition coming up for you this evening. Remember, you can tweet us, #Stags2019, across all of the Scottish swimming media channels, so let us know what you're thinking. Give support out, shouts out to your favourite swimmers. Give your club swimmers all the encouragement that they deserve after several months, years of hard work to get to these National Age Group Championships. But we're looking through tonight's programme, Derek. We start off with girls 200 breaststroke. We go through the age groups, youngest to oldest. What takes your fancy in that 200 breaststroke?
Well, naturally, we were just talking about Katie Robertson there, breaking the 50 record last night, but there should be quite a good tussle between Katie and Yvonne Brown from my club at East Kilbride in South Lanarkshire, so we'll see how close that contest will be, but certainly in some of those younger age groups, especially with Ellie Riley, Anna Morgan and the 16s as well, so that'll be an interesting contest.
Follow that with the boys 200 butterflies. Stefan Kravis will be back doing the longer distance in that one in the very first 200 butterfly final. And then as we go through, Mark Ford has had a good weekend so far.
Yeah, Mark thrives on the National Age Groups Championships, has done for many years now. You would see him as being pretty experienced at this level, and it'll be interesting to see how Mark performs again.
He goes in the 16-year-old final of the 200 fly. After that, it's 100 backstroke for the girls. We'll see there Katie Shanahan maybe in the 15-year-old age group would be one to watch. Backstroke, which is very strong on backstroke, isn't she?
Yeah, Katie is, and she's very, very strong technically. And it's sort of a really good swimmer for any of the youngsters out there to watch as well.
And Ellie Turner in the next final. She'll have an interesting contest with Iona McLeod, I would think. Iona, mainly known as a distance freestyler, but she's shown some really good backstroke form so far this season.
Yeah, it's been great to see Iona branching out and doing multiple events. across the strokes, and obviously trying to add to our programme. So be an interesting tussle for Iona and Ellie.
Then we go to 50 breaststroke for the boys. The final of those finals, the 17-18-year-olds, features Archie Goodburn, who certainly will be right up there. Big season for Archie this season.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I would imagine, just speaking to Archie yesterday, that he'll be in hard training at the moment, looking towards the British and some of those summer meets as we're moving through the year. So it'll be good to see Archie race while he's looking quite tired as well. And it's always a good area to be in, to race tired against some of those other boys your age.
Particularly, I suppose, if they're tapered and you're not, then just puts a little extra pressure on you.
Yeah, absolutely, and it sets you a new challenge as well, and it makes it interesting for the viewer.
Then we go to 400s to finish off the evening. First up, 400 IM. We dropped the younger age groups for this one. They just swam as a heat declared winner event this afternoon. We saw some really good swims from the youngsters this afternoon in both the girls and the boys, but it's the older swimmers this time. And Yvonne Brown, we talked about earlier, she's back in the 400 IM. She'll maybe fancy her chances in this one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that two of our strongest events come on the same day of the programme, but that's the reason why we train for those events and been able to double up and go multiple heats and finals. So hopefully Yvonne will be able to have a strong 200 breaststroke and 400 IM at the end of the session.
And then we finish off with the boys 400 freestyle. Again, the 15s, the 16s, the 17-18s. Jack Munsey versus Angus Allison should be a very tight affair. Perth versus Warrender.
Yeah, I'm looking across all three age groups there, and we've got Cameron Travis against Evan Jones, Jack Munsey against Angus Allison, and then there's a whole host of boys, I think, in that final of tonight, with Daniel Ferguson, Greg Fairbairn, Liam McLaughlin, all looking at those podium places.
Yeah, so we could finish off on a really tight cliffhanger on that 17-18 years 400 freestyle. So that's all that's coming up so far this evening. Just looking at the watch, it's 12 minutes past 5 at the moment, so we are around about 3 minutes away. It's all looking pretty serene and quiet at the moment on poolside, so it won't be quiet for long, I don't suppose.
No, and if this afternoon's session was anything to go by, I think the drums will be out again, and it'll make it for an exciting atmosphere.
Yeah, it certainly was noisy this afternoon. It was noisy last night as well, and I'm sure it will be noisy again this evening. So a reminder that first up fairly shortly is the 200 breaststroke, so that will be first. You can see there kick carriers, so they're responsible for looking after the swimmers' clothing and making sure that they are picked up and taken back to the cool area so that they're right there for the swimmers when they're done with their racing. So that's an important part. Here come the officials. You can see them now coming onto poolside. Of course, also critical part of the organisation of this tournament. Make sure that the race is all properly officiated. Hopefully we'll not hear too much from them in terms of DQs. We've had a few this week so far, but we'd hopefully let's get lots of nice clean racing with no DQs to worry about. So Derek, as coach at East Kilbride, so big meet obviously for your age group swimmers, this one of the highlights of the year. What will have been your preparation over the last 2 or 3 weeks to get ready for this meet?
Well, just to set us up for the meet, I generally coach those youngsters that are between 11 and 14. So I managed to get 6 swimmers from my squad into age groups this year, which has been a really positive, breaking some of the targets that I'd set earlier on in the year. So in preparation, we're still working fairly hard, but still across all the strokes. But then trying to bring that down a little bit and refine some of those final bits of technique and the skills that we're going to need when it comes to racing, but also just trying to prepare them mentally about what they're going to need to cope with in this environment. Obviously some of these swimmers have got a benefit of swimming at Toll Cross as a venue for some of the West District events, So they've experienced that before, but it's then taking that up a level when you're racing people that you don't know from across the country and being able to experience that. And the most important thing for me is for them to turn up, enjoy it and have fun and to have a smile on their face. And so far so good from my young age groupers. So, and that's the most important thing. It's just to swim to have fun, and if you're having fun you generally swim fast.
And we've certainly seen lots of swimmers with smiles on their faces so far in these championships, and I'm sure there'll be more of that this evening. One of the other features is that we see quite a few Scots come up from England to compete in this event. So if you are watching from England, supporting one of the Scots coming up from there, well, first of all, warm welcome to our streaming, and secondly, why not tweet your encouragement on #Snags2019. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think of the competition here at Tollcross, and particularly whether you're enjoying your trip to Glasgow if you have come up. Here come the swimmers for the first event. So we are just a minute or so away now from our first action in the pool. As I said earlier, it is girls 11 to 13, 200 breaststroke that gets us going. And the line-up here is Katie Coventry, one of those swimmers from south of the border representing Tynemouth. Ava Kirkham of first Falkirk-based team goes in lane 1. In 2, Isla MacDonald from the Highland swim team. In 3, Megan Collins of Warrender. 4 is Ellen McPhee from the city of Glasgow. In 5, Millie MacArthur of South Lanarkshire. 6 is Ailey Robertson from South Ayrshire. 7, Amelia Ray from Round 96. Lane 8, Sarah McNaughton of Warrender, and completing the field, Carnegie's Erica Watt in lane 9. So there is the lineup for you, and you can see there the swimmers just preparing themselves on the blocks. And off they go. So we are off and away. You can see the running clock going at the bottom of your screen, just to keep an eye on the pacing here. And a good start in lane 2. That is Isla MacDonald from Highland. So she is the early front runner here. So not going with the seeding right at the beginning here, but lane 4 trying to change that. That's the youngster, just 12 this year, Ellen McPhee of City of Glasgow, having a really successful year, Helen. And she is pretty much up on terms with Isla MacDonald at the turn. It was Isla getting the touch, 38.62 in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen that on quite a few of the boys' 200 breaststrokes last night, them taking it out really hard and then being hunted down by some of the other swimmers that have maybe just taken it out with a bit more length. But as you see now,
Ellen to take this one on. Can't see her being caught now, can you?
Not at all. And it's looking tight, but it looks like Katie Coventry's coming through at the top to try and lay claim on that bronze medal as well.
So it's still a bit contest behind her though, because now Isla MacDonald maybe is just suffering for that fast start, because they are coming at her here, and there's a number of swimmers in the mix for medals here. No doubt who's going to get the gold. That is Ellen McPhee. She has put in a really well managed race, but there's 3-4 swimmers coming in all very close behind her, and it is Katie Coventry all the way out in lane 0 gets a silver medal, and Megan Collins, who I hadn't mentioned at all in commentary there, gets the bronze medal.
Yeah, absolutely terrific finish there. It just shows you when you get to age group swimming, you can go and perform really well in the heats earlier this afternoon, but it's been able to replicate that once again. And if you've got a lane, you've got an opportunity to get a medal.
Yeah, so excellent stuff there from those three. The clear winner, Ellen McPhee, Katie Coventry the silver, and Megan Collins gets the bronze. So good race to start off with. We move quickly on to the 14-year-olds now. In 0, representing Shetland, Freya Masson. In lane 1 is Sterling Swim's Robin Gargan. 2 is Sophie Bain of Aberdeen Performance. Then in lane 3 we have Fern Crichton from Perth City. Erin Taylor goes in lane 4 for Finns. Nuala Gow of Geary is in 5. Martha Reeves of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 6. 7 is Cara Sterling from First. Lane 8, Ciara Davidson of Mulgai and Bearsden, and another from south of the border, Amelia Mardell of Ulverston, is in lane 9. Erin Taylor looked really good in the 400 IM this afternoon, taking the gold in that one. Can she double up with a gold in the 200 breast? That would be a nice gold, but Nuala Gow swam well this weekend as well. Of course, I say this weekend, it's only Thursday.
Yeah, it's a long week, Duncan.
It certainly is, but a good one. So we're off and away in the 200 breaststroke. Strong start there in lane 2. There's a bit of deja vu there. It was a strong start in lane 2 in the first race. This time it's Sophie Bain of Aberdeen Performance who's striking out strongly. I guess it is a viable strategy to really play.
I think it's all relative depending on the person, and it also can depend on the people that you're racing on that particular day and what lane you're drawing in terms of what tactics you employ. But we practice loads of different ways of swimming these, and depends, each time it can work in a different way, especially at the younger age groups.
Well, Sophie Bain has really laid out her stall here. She's 2.5 seconds up at the halfway point. So there's got some work to do to try and claw that one back. Lane 5 is Nuala Gow. Talked about her earlier, the Geary swimmer. Of course, what a pedigree Geary Swimming Club has. Then we've got Fern Crichton of Perth City in 3rd place. Then maybe the swimmers that are perhaps hanging back. Erin Taylor maybe still has that 400 IM in her legs, perhaps in lane 4, because she's got an awful lot of work to do in the next length and a half if she's to get into the frame. Can Sophie Bain hold on to this one, though? I think that's the question now as we come up to the 150. She's coming under a bit of pressure now from Nuala Gow, who might just fancy her chances now. She's got the lead down to only 3/10 now. And remember, it was 2.5 seconds when they were at the other end of the pool. So in the blue cap, Nuala Gow of Geary against, well, fairly near neighbour, Aberdeen Performance's Sophie Bain. And it's looking good for Nuala now. So another example that the fast start doesn't always get you home at the front.
No, Nuala's come through really strongly there, and you can see her picking up her stroke rate just as she's coming into the finish, just a bit quicker than Sophie, so I fancy Nuala to take this.
There's not that much in it as they come in though, but it is going to be Nuala who gets the touch. She does that in 2:45.07, so there was 4/10 in it in the end from Sophie.
Yeah, absolutely, so that's obviously the tactic that Sophie's made sure she's employed within that one, that works for her, so getting out there strong. And she wasn't really hanging on as such. She actually picked up the stroke rate in the third 50 as well to try and make sure she made that break as well. And although Nuala Gow came in with a faster stroke rate to take her for the gold, it still worked for Sophie in gaining the silver.
So you see now we've got the 15-year-olds out on the blocks. Molly Cannon in 0 for Inverclyde. Alice Knight of First in lane 1. 2 is Anna de Grosser of Best. Lucy Trotter of Warrender in 3. Katie Shanahan in 4 for City of Glasgow. Amy Watson of Inverclyde in 5. Kaylin Hall of Aberdeen Performance in 6. Cara Johnson and Nicole Stack in 7 and 8, both from Warrender. And Imogen Collins of North Lanarkshire is in lane 9. So no Anglo-Scots in this one. It's all a domestic Scottish affair. Katie Shanahan, the fastest qualified, 2:41 in this morning's heats. So she, you would think, would be a hot favourite here, though. Amy Watson might be one to watch. The Clyde swimmer. Inverclyde really coming on as a swimming programme.
Yeah, they've got a smaller team set up within the West, but Shirley Reeford, their head coach, she's doing a fantastic job with the group of swimmers that she's got. And although we might think, because Katie Shanahan's in lane 4, I think Amy will be pushing her all the way within this one. It looks to me that it's just going to be between those two girls for first and second place, and then spread out for the bronze beyond that. But it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
So it is going to be Katie Shanahan touching first. She goes through in 36.10. a lead of 4/10 over Amy, and just gradually pushing it on here, because you can argue what is Katie Shannon's best event, maybe 400 IM, although we saw her backstroke is very strong. But breaststroke, as you can see, is not too shabby either, and she is opening up the gap now to about a body length. Still, Amy Watson very much in second place, and as you said, Derek, it's going to be a fight for the bronze. It looks like Lucy Trotter in lane 3, Kaylin Hall in 6. That's third and fourth at the moment, not too far away. Anna de Grosser from the borders in lane 2, but the halfway mark, 1:15.35. Katie Shannon now perhaps further ahead than you might have expected, 2.5 seconds clear of Amy at the halfway point.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first 100 there, and Amy actually touched Katie out in the 50 breaststroke last night, so she's obviously went to the tactic of getting out there and then trying to really then get away and not giving Amy Watson the opportunity to get that sprint on in the last 50.
Katie Shannon, I imagine, also would be one of these swimmers that's not rested. Will be focusing, I imagine, on the British Championships that are coming to Glasgow next month.
Yeah, I would think she would be fully rested for that, but she'll be partially rested for this one to be able to still come and perform. She's got a massive range of events, and although we probably think the 400 IM is her main event, it's great to see her working across all the different strokes and really building her programme for the future.
And she had a 3-second lead going into the final 50. Amy looks to be working that back a little bit, using that sprint speed, as you said, gold medalist in the 50 breaststroke last night, but I can't see her catching Katie as we come towards the final 5 metres. There is about 2-3 metres between them still, so it's gold goes to Shanahan, the silver to Watson, and it is going to be a nice bronze medal. In fact, we thought it might be close for the bronze. It didn't work out that way. Lucy Trotter really grabbed that one and went with it, and so she gets a very well-deserved bronze medal there. So some good racing going on there. Katie Shanahan, let's look at her time, 2:37.73, so about three and a bit seconds faster than she was this morning. Fortunately, we got a disqualification as well, first of the night. That was lane 1, Alice Knight. You can see that there on your scoreboard, but confirming the 1, 2, 3, Shanahan, Watson and Trotter. So we'll be doing presentations now. The first two, that's where they're going. The Scottish Swimming National Championships podium. Nice place to be. So we bring up the 11 to 13s and the 14-year-olds. Get presented together. Looks like it's Ian Fleming, Vice President of the Scottish Swimming Association, making the presentations. And the bronze medalists will be first to get their medals once Ian gets his bearings. Megan Collins in the 11 to 13 age group from Warren de Baths, and Fern Crichton from Perth City with the wall paint on. In the 14-year-old age group, the silver medalist, that lovely silver medal from lane 0, Katie Coventry from Tynemouth. Well done, Katie. And in the 14-year-old age group, Sophie Bain with that really aggressive swim. Good stuff from the Aberdeen performance swimmer. And the gold medalist, Ellen McPhee. Looking pretty serious about it. We've said, have fun. Come on, Ellen. Crack a smile. Almost then. And the 14-year-old champion, Katie Shanahan. Oh no, she was the 15-year-old. She's still to come. Nuala Gow. Oh, Kiri. Quite a contrast in size there, isn't there? The 13-year-old dwarfing the 14-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely, but that's what age group swimming's all about. It's not necessarily about what size you are or what power you've got, it's about what you can do with your body to get yourself through the water as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so Nuala showing that you can't beat a good wee one. Well done to her. Back to the swimming now. It's the 16-year-olds up now. And they are making their way to the podium. But a chat going on there between Georgia Officer, who will be going to lane 0 for Elgin. And next to her from Aberdeen Dolphin, Arona Bowie. She's swimming in lane 1. Then it's two Warrender swimmers. Jenny Galloway goes in lane 2 and Katie Goodburn in lane 3. Heart of Midlothian's Ellie Riley is the fastest qualifier, and she swims in lane 4 up against swimmer from Hamilton Aquatics based in Dubai, Anna Morgan. She's a Scot as well, so she is a very strong breaststroke, so that should be a good race between Ellie Riley and Anna Morgan. Alicia Bain next up for Aberdeen Performance. Shona Graham of Perth City in 7. Ola Stanton in 8 for Perth City, and another Perth City girl, Emma Partland, in lane 9. You'd think this will be a contest between Ellie Riley and Anna Morgan, but keep your eye on Katie Goodburn as well, best known as a shorter distance than 200. So we'll see what she can do. Off they go. And what are you looking for out of the dive in a 200 breaststroke in terms of the pull through, and is that really important to maximise that?
Yeah, you want to be able to get off the block and get a good spring, good height off the block, but being able to maximise the distance underwater while you're travelling as fast as you possibly can, because once you start to swim you're actually then slower than you would be off the dive, so the more that you can maximise off the dive, the better opportunity that you've got to being up there and being at the front of the race, which gives you that opportunity to control your first 50 a bit better.
Ellie Riley first to turn at the 50, 35.34. She's got, what, a metre or so up on the other two, so Goodburn, as we thought, is certainly up there, along with Anna Morgan. Certainly developing into these three in the arrowhead shape there, with Ellie Riley, the Hart swimmer, leading the way. They've had some good wins, Hart, so far in these championships, and Ellie will be looking to add to the tally in this one. Very talented breaststroker. Turning at halfway, 1:15.14, up by about in fact more than that, 2 seconds up on Katie Goodburn, who at the moment has a fair advantage on Anna Morgan. In second place, Ellie Riley. Talk to me a bit about her technique here. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so just as we've seen in that first 100 from Ellie, she was having a slightly slower stroke rate, which means her arms and legs are moving at a slightly slower pace, just to keep the length on what she's doing. But up that third 50, you can see her really pressing and trying to increase that stroke rate a little bit, which is then trying to increase the speed when naturally the body wants to drop. We're just seeing here though, as we go into that fourth 50, she was holding nice height in her stroke. It's just a wee bit lower, but if we can try and generate that height, you can see that coming through from Anna Morgan as she's picking up her stroke rate in this final 50 as well.
Yeah, so Anna Morgan maybe now just coming through for second place, but nobody is going to touch the Hart swimmer Ellie Riley. She is in complete control as they come towards the final 5 metres and is bringing it in excellent style. Touches the wall in a time of 2:36.50. Tis Anna Morgan strong in the second half, taking second, 2:39.59 from Katie Goodburn, who picks up the bronze medal. These three well clear of everybody else, so nice stuff from them.
Yeah, and it's good, Duncan, to see Ellie Riley back on a bit of form again, looking like the swimmer she was a couple of years ago and starting to look really strong in the water.
So 2:36.50 there, her time. She came into this meet on a 2:37, so inside that, so job done, I guess.
Yeah, nice progress, and again, Ellie's probably one of those swimmers that's going forward to the British Championships in a few weeks' time as well. But also what's good at this meet is the British Summer Championships window is open, which allows any of the swimmers from this event to start to set times and put it in the rankings boards, going towards May of that closing date.
So we're looking through these swimmers for the 17-18-year-old final. This is the last of our 200 breaststrokes. Amy Mackay of Highland goes in 0. Nicole Reynolds of Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Kiva Clegg of Boston in 2. Ailsa McDonald of Northampton in 3. Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire in 4. Yvonne Brown of South Lanarkshire in 5. Bridget Le Mesurier of East Lothian in 6. Hannah Cool of St Thomas in 7. Kristen Russell of East Lothian in 8, and Molly Renton of Margay and Bearsden in lane 9. There's the lineup. As we said earlier, should be a battle between Katie Robertson and Yvonne Brown. Probably Katie Robertson goes in as favourite. As we said, that national age group record in the 50 breaststroke. But she has shown over the last year or so that she's very versatile across the breaststroke distances, and you can see there off the dive, well clear there. I mean, that is such an advantage to have, Derek, isn't it, if you do that off the start?
Oh yeah, it's a massive advantage, but it's something that actually Yvonne's worked quite hard on, is to try and minimise that distance. But it looks as if Katie's also made sure that she's making the most of that, to try and make sure you can get away and make those breaks as early as you possibly can in the race.
So that has given Katie a fairly solid lead of 1.4 seconds at the first 50. So the others have got it all to do now. Yvonne Brown in second place, Bridget Le Mesurier in third place in the black cap in lane 6, although she's got company in lane 3 from the Anglo-Scot Ailsa McDonald from Northampton. So these two might be the ones contesting third place. Bridget, certainly you think of more as a 50 and 100 swimmer, silver medalist behind Katie Robertson in the 50 last night. And I think she's now dropped into fourth behind Ailsa McDonald. But Katie Robertson, well, this doesn't look at the moment as if it's going to be particularly close. 1:12.53 for her. She now leads by, 2.5 seconds. But Yvonne Brown probably will be stronger in the second half, you think. Might just eat into that lead.
Yeah, Yvonne's got a really strong second 100, and actually she's one of those swimmers that can be quite annoying to a lot of her opponents because she doesn't actually really slow down very much. But Katie looks as if she's generated enough of a lead that it should be a bit more comfortable from her than we were maybe expecting beforehand.
1:51.69, so in fact she's increased her lead in that third 50 by another half second. It's up over 3 seconds now, so Katie Robertson is going to add 200 to her 50 breaststroke crown that she got last night. So this is another excellent performance from the South Ayrshire swimmer, 17-year-old, swimming as an 18-year-old, her birthday later in the year. Just see what the time is. It's a pretty fast one as she comes in, and well, let's keep an eye on that. 2:30.39, and that is a new national age group record for Katie Robertson, number 2 for her 50 last night, now the 200. Well, no surprise nobody else was keeping up with her. That is the fastest swim ever in Scotland from a 17-year-old that you have just seen here on the live stream. What do you think about that, Derek?
Oh yeah, absolutely terrific swim from Katie. Obviously she's got all that experience from being away on the British team last summer, but she's just looking strong again in the water, and you get that boost when you're out there. And you're keeping in front of the field, and Katie just looks really strong once again.
Yes, so there is the confirmed result, 2:30.39, that new national age group record. Second place Yvonne Brown, and third place Ailsa McDonald. So they will be our medalists. Here come the 15-year-olds and the 16-year-olds to the podium. And once again, Ian Fleming will be doing the honours for us. The bronze medalist in the 15 age group, Lucy Trotter from Warrender Baths. And in the 16-year-olds, her teammate, Katie Goodburn. So a Warrender double on the bronze medal podium. Warrender having a pretty good meet so far. Silver medalist in the 15-year-old age group, Amy Watson from Inverclyde. Add to her gold in the 50, so 2 breaststroke medals for her. And in the 16-year-old age group, Anna Morgan from Hamilton Aquatics. So a big shout out to you if you're watching this from Dubai. Your guys and girls are doing you proud here in Glasgow. Katie Shanahan, that excellent swim in the 15-year-old to take gold. And another excellent swim in the 16-year-old from the Hart swimmer, Ellie Riley. We are pretty blessed with breaststroke talent in Scotland at the moment from the girls.
Yeah, and the guys at the older age group as well. Yeah, breaststroke's one of those strokes that really has been developed really well over the past years, and actually with some of the successes we've had at Commonwealth Games and so on, it's actually then making other swimmers swim faster on breaststroke. So it's really good to see.
Here are the 17, 18-year-olds quickly out of the water. Ailsa McDonald from Northampton, the bronze medalist. Yvonne Brown still puffing a bit. I see she worked hard, from South Lanarkshire. And there's a happy smiley face, doing exactly what you said, Derek.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or whether she's standing on the podium after a hard swim. She's always a smiler.
Katie Robertson, gold medalist in that new national age group record time. Brilliant stuff from her. So we're done with 200 breaststroke. Got us off to a good start. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's been a terrific start. And actually there was some gaps in those events there, more than we were expecting. So I'm sure we'll see some more tighter races as we go through the programme tonight though.
But I guess gaps because the swimmers at the front really pushed it out hard and then drove it well and got very good results. It's 200 fly now. 12, 13-year-old boys out to the blocks. In zero, representing Geary, is Kyle Mitchell. Different cap, same club though. In lane 1, Fraser Tetlow from Geary. Then it's Kieran Lennox of Aberdeen Performance in lane 2. Matthew McMillan of Carnegie in 3. Stefan Kravis of East Lothian in 4. Murray Dixon of Stirling Swim in 5. Scott Fleming goes in lane 6 for South Lanarkshire. Ben McLaughlin of Geary in 7. Adam Scott of Ren 96 in 8. And Finlay Nelson from Stranraer doing the dancing there in lane 9. So 200 fly is a big challenge for these youngsters. Let's see how they get and react to it. Of course, Stefan Kravis, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, national age group record in the 50 fly, but 200 I guess is a tougher ask. He's only just turned 13, so perhaps it might be a really tough ask, I think, to get the record in this one. You would certainly fancy him, you would think, to win the race from Murray Dixon, who might think differently in lane 5.
Yeah, although Murray's gone out quick with Stefan here, I don't think there's going to be any doubt by the end of this race that Stefan will be out there. He's an excellent technician at this young age and really makes the most of his size and stature.
30.6 for him at the 50, and you see now he is starting to open the gap up. It's up to a body length as they come down the second length. Looking past the front two, we've got the South Lanarkshire swimmer, one of yours, Scott Fleming, going battling for the bronze medal at the moment.
Yeah, he's putting himself in the right place. Obviously there's a bigger gap in the heat this afternoon than what we're seeing at the moment, but he's putting himself in the right place to give himself a chance, providing he works the third 50 as well.
So 106.44 is the split for Stefan Kravis. Interestingly, he's gone out a couple of seconds slower than he went out in the heats this afternoon, so obviously swimming it differently here. And, well, or else is he tired? Because it does look like he is under a bit of a challenge now. Murray Dixon is coming hard at him down this third length, but it does look like Stefan maybe just reacting to that and just pushing on again. This is perhaps closer than we expected. Well, you were looking for a close race, Derek.
Yeah, I'm looking for close races, but this isn't the one that I was expecting it to be. Stefan has got a big programme this week, and I don't know if it's... Well, yeah, we're only on day 2 of 5 days, but lovely turn from Stefan there. I think he's maybe just looking at the amount of swims he's doing, and he's making sure that he's racing them to his advantage where possible.
Yeah, that was very interesting there. So I suspect there was a bit of coaching from his coach Bruce Halloran about how to swim this race, because he's swimming it quite differently from how he swam it this afternoon in the heats. In the end, it's a pretty emphatic win. It's a slight wobble in that third 50, but, well, he was just saving himself, it looked like, for that final push, and he ends up... Well, we don't actually have a time on the board in the gallery, so Not quite sure what's happening there. Hopefully we do have electronic times recorded, just not showing here in the venue, and that probably means that we're going to be unable to bring them to you right away, but certainly no doubt about who got that one. Stefan Kravis picking up another gold medal. So he has got one this afternoon in the 400 freestyle. He got, as I said, the 50 fly. He also got 2 gold medals yesterday and a bronze. So that's gold medal number 4, if I've done my maths correctly.
Yeah, he's stacking them up already, Duncan. So that's where I'm thinking that he's probably swimming it tactically, rather than necessarily for time all the time at the moment.
So we are moving straight on to the 14-year-olds. We'll get you that result just as quickly as we can. In fact, I can give it to you now. So Stefan Kravis, 2:20.99 was his time. Murray Dixon second, 2:25.82, 2:25.82. Matthew McMillan, 2:26.88 was third. Scott Fleming just missing out, 2:29.92 in fourth place. So on to the 14-year-olds, and we've got Conrad Slesser in 0 for Aberdeen Performance. Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer Andrew Brodie in 1. Tom Nicholson of Delting in 2. Matthew Hand of Ards in 3. Travis Davey of Dundee City Aquatics in 4. Owen Ray of Warrender in 5. Tom Robertson of Aberdeen Dolphin in 6. Andrew Lawson of Best in 7. Brodie Gordon Gibson of Warrender in 8. And lane 9 is Luke McKenzie from Western Bartonshire.
Yeah, this is one of the ones, Duncan, that I was thinking might be closer. We've only got 0.4 of a second between our first 3 swimmers here, so it'll be interesting to see if we can get from the beats produce similar boys.
Yes, so off they go. And a good start in lane 3 from the Ulsterman from Ards, Matthew Hand. He was here last year, had a very successful time of it, including a silver medal in this event behind Stefan Kravis, but he's now in a different age group from Stefan, so he maybe fancies his chance for gold, although he was only 3rd fastest qualifier today. So again, the 200 fly, we talked about going out fast in the 200 breaststroke earlier and whether that was a good idea or a bad idea. What about in the 200 fly?
I certainly wouldn't recommend it in the 200 fly. It's one of those ones that the technique can drop out really easily. It is obviously the most physically demanding stroke, especially in a long course setting. But you've got to be out fast enough to make sure you're in the race, but have enough there that you can go and apply pressure on the other swimmers that if they are going to slow down a little.
And Travis Davey is now applying pressure on Matthew Hann. Very little between the just 400s in it at the halfway point. Still very much in the picture as well, Owen Ray. Now, he was a gold medalist in the 50 fly last night, so he might have some sprint speed at the end of this one. The Warrender swimmer in lane 5. So it does look like we are now getting a tight contest, because Matthew Hand in the dark cap in lane 3 and Travis Davey in the dark pink of Dundee City Aquatics are pretty much stroke for stroke, and Owen Ray is definitely moving up now. So there's 3 of them all in the frame at the 150 mark. It's Travis Davey now has taken over the lead, 1:43.35 as he turns for home. Still Matthew Hand there or thereabouts. Owen perhaps lost a little bit from that turn, so he's got some work to do now as we come up to halfway to go in this final length. Travis Davey looking to hold on to this one and pick up the gold for Dundee City Aquatics, and so far so good for him. He's up by about a metre from the Ards swimmer Matthew Hand. Owen Ray I think might just have to settle for 3rd. It's a good win from Travis Davey there, 2:19.63. Did a 2:22 in this afternoon's heats. Moved up from a 2:30 that he came into this meet in, so to go from a 2:30 to a 2:19, I think Coach David Haig will be pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, I think David will be delighted, and Travis swam that really nicely. He had he had Matthew Hand just in his sights, just coming into that 100-metre turn, and then just tried to increase that stroke rate, so he's obviously left enough in the tank to be able to do that.
Owen Ray, you thought maybe was going to challenge there, but just couldn't quite match the speed down the last length that he needed to overhaul the other two. So he gets the bronze, though. I think he'll be pretty happy with that. And there were 3 good times there from those guys. 15-year-olds coming out now. You're looking at Finn Bremner there in the red of Warrender going to lane 0. John Taylor beside him in the white cap for Aberdeen Performance. Then it's Jake Kirkham of First in the blue. Elliot Sinclair of Dumfries in lane 3. Cameron Creaney of North Lanarkshire Swim Team in lane 4. Ben Montgomery of Carnegie is the music man in lane 5. 6, Cameron Travis of Aberdeen Performance. 7 is Liam Marshall of Stirling Swim. In lane 8, Cameron Gordon of Dumfries. And lane 9, Callum Rose from Warrender. So Warrender swimmers, the 2 outside lanes. We've got 2 from Dumfries as well. But the fastest, North Lanarkshire's Cameron Creaney. 2:20.41. He had about 6/10 an advantage over Ben Montgomery in the heats. This could be another close one. So they're away. And good start in lane 2. Jake Kirkham of First taking it out strongly. So right up on the top of your screen is Finn Bremner. More measured starts in the centre lanes. Certainly Cameron Creaney looking solid in lane 4, currently sitting maybe in about 4th place. Lane 8 going well. That is Cameron Gordon. Are we going to see somebody come from the outside lanes? Well, we saw a silver medal already from lane 0, so we can see it can be done. And Cameron Gordon is pushing it hard here in lane 8.
Yeah, it's just interesting to watch the boys' tactics here, because although you've got the 2 boys, Jake and Cameron, taking it out quite quickly, it's a bit being able to sustain that in a 200 butterfly. And I'm sure those guys in the centre lanes are making sure they're aware of where everyone is in the pool to be able to, when they want to take on and apply the pressure themselves.
Just 400ths in it at the halfway point. Cameron Gordon and Jake Kirkham. Jake's looking good here in lane 2. Is not showing signs, but you are seeing now lanes 3 and 4 starting to claw this back. Elliot Sinclair and Cameron Creaney. Perhaps particularly Cameron in lane 4.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see how the boys go round this wall here, to see how much momentum they can carry. Certainly Jake got round the wall really quick there, and looks as if he's trying to increase the stroke rate.
So it's going to be these 2, I think, deciding it. Jake Kirkham trying to hold on to this lead. Cameron Creaney looking to try and wrestle it off him down this final length. They're stroke for stroke as they go past the halfway markers. This could go either way, but it does, well, maybe Cameron Creaney has the slightest of edges, but it's so close here as we come up towards the final 5 metres. I think Creaney is just going to be able to do enough. It looked like he had a sneaky look across there in those last few metres. That was a wee bit dangerous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always a risk, but I think he had enough in that anyway. But yeah, as you say, Duncan, it's always a risk that if you look to the side, it can cost you those few tenths that might be the difference between that gold and silver.
Cameron Travis coming through to take the bronze medal. We hadn't mentioned him in the commentary, so again a big late push from him out of lane 6 to take the bronze, but it was Cameron Creaney getting it there, you can see, by about 9/10 from Jake Kirkham. 2:17.47 and 2:18.38. Cameron Travis, the bronze medalist. Back to medal presentations. The 11th, 13s and the 14s making their way to that podium. And here they are. So they're in a hurry to get onto the podium. The bronze medalists, Matthew McMillan of Carnegie in the 11 to 13 age group. And the Warrender swimmer, Owen Ray, beside him in the 14 age group. So they get their bronze medals. Silver medalist Murray Dixon of Stirling Swim. He really worked it hard in that. And Matthew Hand of Ards, the silver medalist in the 14-year-old age group. And the gold medalists and national champions, Stefan Kravis of East Lothian. Big lad.
Yeah, very tall boy, and it's nice to see him then eventually put a smile on his face there.
But a great physique and a great outlook towards his swimming. And the 14-year-old champion, he really swam an intelligent race. Dundee City Aquatics, Travis Davey. He seems to be one who rises to the big occasion, Travis. I remember he did very well at last year's national age groups. Haven't probably seen that much from him in between times, but here he is again at national age groups, peaking when it matters.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really good to see any of these swimmers just step up to the plate when it comes to the bigger stage, and that's where you want to see it, because ultimately that's where we gain the experience for the future and be able to come through and make some of our national senior teams.
Yes, of course, all these younger swimmers will be having that in their long-term outlook. 16-year-olds coming to the blocks now, and we have Cam Jeffrey from City of Manchester going in lane 0, Thomas Coates of West Lothian in lane 1, Ethan Brown of St Thomas in 2, 3 is Fraser Kelly of North Ayrshire. In lane 4, it's Mark Ford from the City of Glasgow. Marcus Tambling of Hamilton Aquatics in 5, Marcus Scullion of Portsmouth North Sea in 6, 2 West Lothian swimmers next, Miles Lapsley in 7 and Nathan Grimley in 8, and in lane 9, representing Aberdeen, James Taylor. So that's the lineup for the 16-year-olds. The fastest qualifier, Mark Ford, about a second faster than Marcus Tambling in the heats. Mark Ford came into this meet on a 2:08. Did a 2:09.5 this morning, so he'll be looking to be around or inside his entry time of 2:08. Did that in this pool at Scottish Schools earlier in the year, and he's off to a decent start. Just got his nose in front of Marcus Tambling and Marcus Scullion in lanes 5 and 6. Up there as well in lane 3, Fraser Kelly of North Ayrshire through the turn, and it is Mark Ford with the lead, 28.33.
Yeah, Mark's looking really strong at the moment, looks in control in this first 100, and he'll be looking to try and make that break in that third 50. It's something that he usually does very well, and he's looking to set himself up for that just as he's coming into the 100 turn at the moment.
And he goes through that 100 turn in just over the minute, 1:00.9, and looks to be just easing away from the others, and it looks like it's battle on for the silver. Fraser Kelly and Marcus Tambling, with Marcus Scullion still interested in that one as well. One of these swimmers is going to miss out on the podium. Which one's it going to be? Mark Ford holding on to it, not building it that much in the third 50, but well, still looking very much the favourite. 1:33.62 as he turns for home. A second and a half clear now of the others. Perhaps Marcus Tambling, nice turn skills from Marcus Tambling there.
Yeah, it was very nice, because there was only, about 7 100ths of a difference between Marcus and Fraser Kelly, yet Marcus seemed to come out the turn with plenty of a lead in front of Fraser.
So no doubt who's going to get this one. Mark Ford now really turning it on, but this race is still very much on. It's looking like Fraser Kelly is going to take the silver and really battling it hard. And what a finish for third. Marcus Scullion just nicking it from Marcus Tambling there. So Quite a turnaround for the minor medals, but Mark Ford, well, pretty emphatic, and 2:06.17. I think he'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and we were just talking there about that turn from Marcus Tambling, and I wonder if maybe just kicking a wee bit too hard or staying a wee bit too long under the water has maybe cost him there just in that last 10-12 metres, because Marcus Scullion certainly come through very strong.
So it can be a bit of a double-edged sword then. He's really stressing it out through in the turns.
Yeah, but in a sense it's good to see as a coach that you're working on these skills at the younger age groups, because you would hope as you develop into the future you're going to need to have these skills in your locker when you go into the senior ranks, because you will get eaten alive in senior swimming if you don't have good skills.
So this is the 17-18-year-old final now. Mark Devlin goes for North Lanarkshire in 0. Liam Harkin of first in 1. Finley Hart of East Lothian in 2. Fraser Wilson of Warrender in 3. Craig Greenock of City of Glasgow in 4. Jamie McDonald of Warrender in 5. John Houston, South Ayrshire in 6. George Cowan of Arbroath St Thomas in 7. Liam Eccleston in 8 for Dumfries, and Mark Innes of Warrender in 9. This one could be a tight one. Just 300 separating Craig Greenock and Jamie McDonald in this morning's heats. There's your lineup. Remember, hashtag Snags 2019. Tweet us your thoughts as this evening progresses, as we go through the big wins, the surprises, the head-to-head battles. And this one certainly could be in that last category of a head-to-head battle. And there could be a number involved here. Liam Harkin pushing it out early on, but settling into his swim now, the City of Glasgow swimmer Craig Greenock. And he's going to be first to turn in 28.31. 3/10 clear of the Warrender swimmer Jamie McDonald. And up there as well, John Houston of South Ayrshire in the blue cap to the right-hand side of Jamie McDonald in the red. That is Craig Greenock, but not by much now.
Yeah, it's an interesting first 100 here. This is another one of those close battles that we were expecting, and Jamie and Craig are certainly setting that up for us at the moment. It's been able to get round this turn quickly and then try and apply a bit of pressure and see if you can break your opponent.
So 2/10 the lead when they touched there, but again it looked like Jamie McDonald had the advantage through that turn. So is it power off the turn or is it speed through the turn, or both, I suppose, ideally?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one there, because Jamie McDonald just seemed to get round the wall really fast there, certainly a lot quicker than Craig, and they seemed to match each other off the wall. So probably the speed round the wall in this instance, but sometimes yes, it can be off the wall as well.
So turning at the 150, this time it was more even Steven on the turns, but there's an advantage of just over a second for Jamie McDonald, 1:33.41 as he turned, and well, he is really stepping on the gas now. We said it was going to be close, we got that one wrong, because Jamie McDonald is powering away. Well, we said it was going to be close, I said it was going to be close, I'll take the blame for that one. And Jamie McDonald, although he has been caught a little bit in the closing stages, never in doubt really as he came in, takes it in 2:06.54. So he came in on a 2:06.8. As you get older, of course, it gets harder to just knock out these PBs every time. So a 3/10 PB will be a satisfactory outcome.
I'm sure he'll be delighted with that. Just watching Jamie there up that last 50, what's really important for any of the younger swimmers watching is the strength of his second kick on butterfly. That's so key to holding that rhythm and timing, especially in a 200 butterfly.
So there's the result confirmed. Craig Greenock second, and it was Fraser Wilson of Warrender picking up the bronze medal. So we go back to the podium for our presentations, the second half of the presentations for the 200 fly, starting off with the 15-year-old boys and the 16-year-old boys. The bronze medalist in the 15s from Aberdeen Performance is Cameron Travis. So he steps up onto the podium to get his bronze medal. And joining him on that podium is Portsmouth North Sea's Marcus Scullion. Part of the Scottish performance programme. Looks slightly unclear, but yes, it's your turn. So Marcus then. There seems to be a slight confusion going on there as we move on to the silver medalists. Jake Kirkham first, getting a big cheer here in the gallery for his silver medal. I suspect that's from his teammates largely. Fraser Kelly of North Ayrshire looks pretty happy to get his silver medal. And our national champions, the 15 age group from North Lanarkshire. I think this is the first North Lanarkshire gold medal of these championships. And it goes to Cameron Creaney in the 15-year-old 200 fly. And the 16-year-old fly champion from City of Glasgow, Mark Ford. So good stuff from those guys. Photo time. There's the gallery. Maybe a slightly smaller gallery we've got tonight, of course, midweek. So if you're working out there, if you're still at work, my sympathies. I'm sure you would rather be here at Tollcross, but a sneaky look at the live stream is never a bad idea.
No, and that's the purpose of the live stream, Duncan, so those that can't make it here. I was at work myself this morning before I could make it.
I feel for you, Derek.
That's what you've got to do, isn't it?
Certainly is. So Fraser Wilson there at Warrender gets his bronze medal in the 17 to 18 age group. Craig Greenock the silver and the gold medal. They don't have long, do they, to get out of the pool and get their breath back before they are on the podium. Jamie McDonald of Warrender. So two Warrender boys on the podium in the 17 to 18, showing their strength in depth.
Yeah, Warrender have got a really strong team once again this year. They showed that from day one, being a fair distance ahead of everyone else in the top club points as well.
Yes, hard fought for the top club award. There's lots of clubs would love to get their hands on that. South Lanarkshire had it a few years ago.
Yeah, we managed to win it in 2016. Takes a lot of planning, a lot of preparation to be able to go and achieve that feat. It was a hard task, but naturally you've got to go and rebuild as well. And but Warrender have a big group, a big squad of swimmers, but it's great to see that they've got such a depth of talent as well. Yes,
so we're on to 100 backstroke now for the girls. In the 11 to 13 age group, we have Riona Sorianosos of City of Sunderland in 0, Erin Urquhart of Aberdeen Performance in 1, Kate Carruthers of Hearts in 2, Jessica Dempster of West Lothian in 3, Libby Freeman of Morpeth in 4, Sarah Hill of Aberdeen Dolphin in 5, Chloe Barron of Midlothian in 6, Melissa May Waring of West Lothian in 7, Natalie Marshall of Swimmet in 8, and Maya Cheshire of Elgin in lane 9. And Libby Freeman looked very, very good this afternoon in the heat, so I'm quite excited to see what she can do in this final. She's certainly very much the fancied swimmer, you would think, here. From Morpeth, 106.78, over 3 seconds faster than anybody else in the heat. But beside her, and giving her a go early on, is Sarah Hill. So she is right up there in lane 5, Aberdeen Dolphin. So it's these two, Libby and Sarah, coming up towards the walk. It's just 2 lengths of the pool this time, 100 metres. And as they turn, there's very little to choose between them. The touch just going to Libby. Not too much between them in the turn either, but Libby coming out of it perhaps slightly further ahead. And she's now starting to stretch it out. And with every stroke, looks very controlled backstroker, isn't she? Yeah, it's a lovely stroke from Libby, and she's just looking to try and maintain that stroke rate to keep turning it over. And you can see that Sarah's just slowed it down ever so slightly, but Libby's coming through strongly to take this one. And in the end, it was a pretty comfortable victory, 1:05.54, so over a second faster than she was this afternoon. The second spot going to Sarah Hill, and Jessica Dempster taking third. There's confirmation of that. 105.54, 107.45 and 110.61, the top 3 times.
It's even great, Duncan, just to see the drops that some of these younger swimmers are making from heats to finals. That's an important skill to be able to learn as you grow through the ages and the ranks, to be able to swim faster in the evening session.
14-year-olds now. Amber Stevenson of South Ayrshire in 0, Lily MacDonald of South Aberdeenshire in 1, Drew Mackenzie of West Lothian in 2, Holly McGill of Hearts in 3, Amy Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden in 4, 2 Warrender girls, Rachel Saunders in 5, Anna Green in 6, 7 is Ashley Merson of West Lothian, 8 Ella Stevenson of North Lanarkshire, and 9 Millie Milne of Warrender. Now, Millie Milne came from a Fitzmuch outside lane yesterday to take gold. Do you think she could do it out of lane 9?
I think it'll be a tougher ask this time. Just looking at some of the girls and watching some of the girls from this afternoon's heats.
So there is the lineup. Amy Shields, the fastest qualifier from Mulgai and Bearsden, 107.18 in this afternoon's heats. Holly McGill has had a good championship so far in lane 3. She might be one to watch. Rachel Saunders certainly has a reputation as a very strong backstroker, and very nice starting skills from Rachel in lane 5, gives her the early lead.
Yeah, and I was watching the heats this afternoon, and Rachel actually had withdrawn from the 400 individual medley, so I wonder if that's maybe part of the tactic for trying to get a gold and be on the top of that podium for tonight.
Certainly looking that way at the moment. She's taking it out very strongly indeed. Her teammate Anna Green is also going well beside her. Currently in 4th place, 2nd Holly McGill, and 3rd Amy Shields. On the other side of Rachel, who is certainly at the moment the one that they're chasing, but Holly McGill is pushing on nicely. So at the moment it looks like it's an Edinburgh contest, Warrender versus Hearts, and there's not a lot in it at all here as they come down into the last 10 metres. It's Holly McGill who I think is going to bring this one home, and yet another brilliant swim from Holly McGill to come in 105.76, over 2 seconds faster than she was in this afternoon's heats. So we talked about Holly McGill having a really good championships, and she certainly proved that point very well there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we came on here, Duncan, and she had a really, and it's great to see that she's got a range of events, like from the 1500 yesterday, which was really strong for her, to then the 100 backstroke there.
Yes, excellent stuff. 15-year-olds now making their way to the blocks, and we've got Elise McQueenie going in lane 0 for City of Glasgow. Next to her, Astrid Hanna of Millfield School. In 2, Ciara Sterica of South Ayrshire. Nearly moved her 200 miles. Rowan Saunders goes in 3 for Heart of Midlothian. Katie Shanahan of City of Glasgow in 4. Lucy Grieve of South Ayrshire in 5. Abby Sinclair of Warrender in 6. Scarlett Ferris at Dundee City Aquatics in 7. Jacqueline McMillan of Carnegie in 8. And Sarah Coffey of First in lane 9. So second swim for Katie Shannon. How easy is it to recover and be ready for this second swim? But no, maybe what, 40 minutes on or something like that?
Yeah, for some of the younger swimmers, but although Katie's younger, she's got plenty of experience of doing multiple swims and events, and that's the reason why we train the way we do. But I think someone like Katie will be able to cope with that.
Well, we'll see. Coming up now as they get underway in lane 5, perhaps her most serious competition, Lucy Grieve of South Ayrshire, probably best known as a fly swimmer, but showing some good form to qualify second fastest in this backstroke final. There's not too much to choose between them. Again, we're seeing a good swim from lane 3 from a Heart swimmer. This time it's Rowan Saunders. Well, can she do a Hearts double? Lane 6 pushing on nicely as well, Abby Sinclair. So this one is wide open, but it That's Rowan Saunders turning first, 32.04. But as you come out the second half, maybe this is where you'd expect Katie Shanahan to move on, and it looks like she is starting to do that, just moving herself now into the lead as they go past those halfway markers and stretching it up now. So this, I think, must have been in the game plan to be fairly steady in the first 50, push it on hard in the second 50, and it's reaping good dividends. You certainly said she'd be able to recover well and take it in a stride. That's exactly what she's done. 104.51 to take the win, and that again is about just looking at her time in the heats, 106.14, so just over a second and a half faster than she was there. So another good job, well done from Katie Shannon. Confirmation there. Rowan Saunders, good swim from her. So Hart's on the podium again, and Abby Sinclair of Warrender gets another medal for that club. So some good overall swimming there. As we go back to the podium now, our 11, 12, 13-year-olds and our 14-year-olds. So the bronze medalists, Jessica Dempster of West Lothian. And in the 14-year-old, it's Amy Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden. The silver medalists in the 11 to 13 age group, Sarah Hill of Aberdeen Dolphin. Pretty easy to tell which one is the Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer. Big AD there, gives you a clue. And the silver medalist in the 14-year-old age group, Warrender's Rachel Saunders. She might be slightly disappointed with that, as you said, withdrew from the 400 iron, maybe to focus on this one. So silver medal, well,
yeah, I'm not sure if that was the tactic, but it's something that struck me when I seen that she had withdrawn from the 400 IM. Never want to speculate too much in case you're wrong, but that was just my feeling at the time this afternoon.
Libby Freeman there, the 11 to 13-year-old champion from Morpeth, having another excellent swim, and lovely swim there from the Hart swimmer, Holly McGill, the 14-year-old champion. So the 13-year-old Scottish champion is Sarah Hill, because the winner, Libby Freeman, not a Scot, a Northumberland-based English girl. So 6 happy swimmers come off the podium, and we go back to swimming with the 16-year-olds. They're making their way to the podium now. There they are, led out by Louise Beattie of Highland Swim Team. Next to her in the red cap for the Broch, Elaine Murray. Then in lane 2 from Dumfries, Ava Simpson. In 3, Morven Lister of Carnegie, her teammate Ellie Turner beside her. In 5, Iona McLeod of Dundee City Aquatics. In 6, Lucy Lucas from East Lothian. 7 is Holly Shand of Elgin. In 8, Mari MacDonald of Aberdeen Performance. And lane 9, Eve Corrigan from Warrender. So Ellie Turner, 1:05.20. Iona McLeod, 1:06.34. The fastest in the heats, both Youth Squad members. Morven Lister might just want to push her teammate as hard as she can in lane 3. Ava Simpson, talented swimmer as well. So they set off, and you would think here Ellie Turner will be a fairly hot favourite.
Yeah, we'll see how this one pans out, Duncan. A lot of these girls actually led off that mixed medley relay last night. And they were against some of the boys as well from some of the other clubs. So it'll be interesting actually, now that they're just racing as girls, how this is going to pan out.
Iona McLeod off to a good start in lane 5, so looks like she is going to be leading them early on. Also going well in lane 7, Holly Shand She turns third behind McLeod and Turner. Out of the turn, and Ellie Turner now starting to make her moves. Just a little bit reminiscent of the Katie Shanahan swim. Ellie Turner taking it out fairly easily in the first 50, and strong through the turn, and then trying to push it on. She's about a metre on. Iona McLeod not giving up the fight here. She's had some good backstroke form this season and is pushing all the way here, but it's going to be Ellie Turner taking the gold. Good swim out there in lane 2 from Ava Simpson. Well, I did mention her as a possible dark horse, and she gets the bronze medal in lane 2, but it is Ellie Turner, her second backstroke gold of these championships, and second place. Just confirming that, Iona McLeod there, 104.93. Ava Simpson, only 1500s behind her in the end, takes the bronze. So even in the hundreds, we're seeing these tactics around how to swim the first 50, how to swim the second 50.
Yeah, because what you find is a lot of the girls sometimes swim through the year at different meets against each other across the event. So they'll be using different tactics in each one and trying to guess what each other are using as they go. But certainly that one paid off for Ellie, just being there or thereabouts at the 50 and then pushing on from there.
So the line up now for the 17-18s. We've got Erica Chopik of Hearts in 0, Nicola Lees of West Lothian in 1, Caitlin Dodds of Finns in 2, Holly Houghton of Taunton Dean in 3, Emily Peck of Hamilton Aquatics in 4, Ellis Shields of Mulgai and Bearsden in 5, Serena Iguaram, City of Glasgow in 6, Yasmin Perry of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Rachel Gillespie of Mulgai and Bearsden in 8, and Emma Scully, City of Glasgow in lane 9. So there is confirmation of the lineup. Fastest Hamilton Aquatics, Emily Peck, 104.02. Finalist in the British Summer Championships last year, the English girl based in Dubai. So in that distinctive orange cap, and just easing into an early lead. Good start in 2 from the Finn swimmer Caitlin Dodds. Beside her in lane 3, Holly Houghton. Good long journey for her up from Taunton. But it is going to be Emily. She's of course an even longer journey from Dubai. 30.89 for her at halfway. It's Ellis Shields in second place, but she can't live with Emily Peck. And again, that turn, quite a big differentiator there.
Yeah, I've watched that from quite a few of the Hamilton Aquatic swimmers from Dubai. They've got some great skills, some great underwaters. We were talking about it earlier with Marcus Tambling as well, but I don't think anyone's going to get near Emily Peck here.
The backstroke turns quite a specialist skill to acquire, particularly for, I guess, for the younger swimmers, but that was pretty much perfectly executed, I would say, for Emily.
Yeah, it's one of those skills at the younger age that it's quite easy to get disqualified on, but as you learn and you progress, actually the faster that you can roll and get flipped, the better chance you've got round the wall quicker. But certainly that's a really good execution for Emily on that turn.
So there's your order. Emily Peck, Ellis Shields, Holly Houghton, the 1, 2, 3. You can see just 400s there between 4th and 5th. Serena Iguaram just edging Caitlin Dodds. So that's us done with the 100 backstroke. We'll be going back to the podium once the swimmers have cleared the water. Not in any great hurry to leave the scene. So the 15-year-olds will be first up to the podium along with the 16-year-olds.
It's always a difficult one, Duncan, when you're in lane 9 or lane 8 and you've got to cross the whole pool to get out. You know, you always feel for those swimmers.
Particularly when they want to go the other way and the referee says, nope, turn around.
Yeah, and it was interesting because when we were here at the European Championships last year, obviously being that kind of international level event, it was so slick that they had to get every event moving on quicker, and they had to get the swimmers out from both sides of the pool. So it's just interesting how different meets have different rules.
Oh, maybe a wee message there. So our bronze medalists in the 15-year-old age group. Abby Sinclair of Warrender Baths. And in the 16-year-old age group from Dumfries, Ava Simpson. The silver medalist, Rowan Saunders, Heart of Midlothian. And Iona McLeod in the 16-year-old age group. The gold medalists and national champions, Katie Shanahan from City of Glasgow for the 15-year-olds. And her fellow Scottish youth squad member from Carnegie, Ellie Turner, champion for the 16-year-olds. So you'll get to see all these photographs via Scottish Swimming media channels. Well, there's a serious conversation going on. Wonder what that's all about.
We're getting quite intense as coaches at times. It's purely down to wanting the swimmers to get the best and make the most of these championships.
So we're going back to the podium then for the 17, 18-year-olds. Holly Houghton of Taunton Dean, the bronze medalist. The silver medalist, Ellis Shields. So I'm seeing two of the Shields girls on the podium from Margot and Besden. And the gold medalist from Hamilton Aquatics, Emily Peck. An emphatic swim from Emily. Ellis Shields will be the top Scot, so she's Scottish national champion. Congratulations to her as well.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, Duncan, you get 2 medals for that. Obviously you get a silver medal for the position in the race, but you're getting your gold for being top Scot. But I'm sure Ellis would have far preferred just to be on top of the podium as well. But it's good to see, and it always gives that additional inspiration that even we can bring some swimmers from Dubai, from down in England, up north, that just for additional competition, but you're still entitled to your gold medal.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it's one of the great features of these Scottish National Age Group Championships that we do open it up to non-Scots, and long may that continue. So we go to the other end of the pool now. This is the 50 breaststroke, the 11 to 13-year-old boys. In 0, Alex Robin of City of Glasgow. In lane 1, Finlay Jackson of Hazelmere. In lane 2, Oscar Bilbao of Hamilton Aquatics. Lane 3, Callum Melville of Grantham. In lane 4, Stefan Kravis of East Lothian. In 5, St Thomas swimmer Cameron Mitchell. In lane 6, Alfie Maguire from the City of Sunderland. Matthew McMillan goes for Carnegie in 7. Mark Scott for Finns in lane 8. And Callum Peebles, he had to survive a swim-off to get a position in lane 9. So there is confirmation of the lineup. Once again, Stefan Kravis in the top-seeded lane, but there wasn't too much in it, just 3/10 between him and Cameron Mitchell in the heats. Just the one length of the pool this time. Kravis in the black cap. He's got another black cap beside him, Callum Melville of Grantham, who was very impressive yesterday in the 200 breaststroke. So he is looking to add a second gold here, and I think he might just do it. Stefan Kravis is at the moment in second place, but he is closing fast now. This is going to be a really tight one as they come in. Who gets the touch? It goes to Stefan Kravis. He got it there. Well, it didn't look like it was going to 15 metres out, but, well, he wasn't going to take no for an answer there. Stefan Kravis, 33.15. Callum Melville, 33.35. And Oscar Bilbao, the bronze medalist, 33.66. There it is confirmed. So for a 50, there was a lot of different things going on in that race.
Yeah, and Callum Melville was really attacking it there, but Stefan just looked to be patient throughout that race and let the technique come through, and he held on to the water really well. And actually it was really key to finish that on a long stroke there, because Callum was finishing at a good pace.
So on to the 14-year-olds in 0, representing Warrender, Micah Van Bleur. In 1, Ryan King of Glenrothes. 2 is David Kernahan of Warrender. 3, Matthew Hand of Ards. 4, Elliot Woodburn of Kendal. James Keane in 5 for West Lothian. Douglas Calder of First in 6. Ewan Beatty of Warrender in 7. Callum Ferretti of Mulgai and Bearsden in 8. And James English of Warrender in lane 9. So I told you we let English swimmers go into this swim. There we go, lane 9. James English.
Well, yeah, just by name. But no, for me, I echo your thoughts as well, Duncan, in terms of encouraging some of those athletes from down south and abroad to come and compete at our championships. It only makes it for healthier competition.
And one who has certainly made a big impact is the Kendal swimmer Elliot Woodburn, and he, I think, will be the favourite for this one. 31.30 was about a second and 3/4 faster than anybody else in heats, and straight away he is into the clear lead. Either side of him, Matthew Hand from Ards in Northern Ireland and James Keane of West Lothian. So 2 non-Scots in the running here, but there's no doubt which one of them is going to take the win. This is another excellent swim from Elliot Woodburn, who's really taken these championships by storm from south of the border. 31.16 for him. 32.68 Matthew Hand takes second. Top Scot, the bronze medalist, James Keane in 32.94. Well, 31.16, that was pretty fast. 50 breaststroke swimming.
Yeah, for a 14-year-old, that's very quick. Really good swim there from Elliot Woodburn, and he just holds onto the water really well whilst maintaining plenty of height in his stroke.
15-year-olds now coming out, and in lane 0 from Alloa is Alistair Finlay. In 1 from City of Glasgow, Ben Galloway. In 2, Perth City's Murray Pritchard. In 3 from Hamilton Aquatics, Yusuf Eldalwi. In 4, Jamie Littlefield of Warrender. 5 is Matthew Garrity of Inverclyde. In 6, Liam Murphy of First. 7 is Tony Anderson of City of Glasgow. Jake Kirkham of First in 8, and Thomas Christie of South Aberdeenshire in lane 9. Fastest qualifier in this one, the Warrender swimmer Jamie Littlefield, but Matthew Garrity, I think, will give him a run for his money. He was 200 breaststroke gold medalist yesterday. You would think it'll be between these two, but I'll take nothing for granted as we come down towards the start. There's the lineup. They're on the blocks, and away they go. So lane 4, Jamie Littlefield in the red cap. Lane 5, Matthew Garrity. Good start from the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer, Yusuf Eldalwi, in lane 3. So he is right up there with Littlefield at the moment. It looks between these two. Garrity has some catching up to do if he is to join them. Jamie Littlefield is perhaps playing catch-up here because it's Eldalwi who is going to get this one. It is another Hamilton Aquatics win. We saw that from Emily Peck just not long ago, and Yusuf Eldalwi will also make it to the top of the podium with a win there over Jamie Littlefield, and Matthew Garrity taking the bronze medal.
Yeah, that returns, Duncan, just to what you were asking about earlier in terms of the importance of the start. You look at all 3 boys in the podium there, and they all swam pretty much the exact same speed throughout the race, but where they came up after breakout was pretty much the positions and the distances that they finished behind, based around the dive.
So they obviously work on that in Dubai, so congratulations to them, it's paying dividends. So the 16-year-olds up now. Lucas Weir of Highland in 0. Douglas Kelly, City of Glasgow in 1. His teammate David Blair in 2. Marius Gringelis of North Lanarkshire in 3. Another Hamilton Aquatic swimmer goes in 4. Tommaso Savini. Louis Nguyen of Mount Kelly in 5. Cameron Allison of Dumfries in 6. Lewis Thompson of Midlothian in 7. Finlay Wallace of St Thomas in 8, and Bruce Dixon of Stirling Swim in lane 9. So can we go back-to-back Hamilton Aquatics wins here? Tommaso just 700ths faster than Louis Nguyen, the Mount Kelly swimmer. Top Scot in the heats, Marius Gringelis. North Lanarkshire. We've seen a North Lanarkshire gold medal already tonight, Cameron Creaney. So here we go then, and again coming out from the breakout, it is the Hamilton aquatic swimmer into the lead. Tommaso Trovini really making your point there, Derek.
Yeah, it's just another terrific start, and they've been producing them swim after swim at the moment. We've seen it last night, we're seeing it again tonight.
And looks like he is going to take this one. It's not too much in it. Pushing hard, Douglas Kelly in lane 1, but not quite able to go with Tommaso. But he takes the silver medal from lane 1. And it was Louis Nguyen taking the bronze. 31:39 the time for Tommaso.
And I think you can go back to the start again. Douglas Kelly was right up next to Tommaso there on breakout. So it is one of those key messages that you want to get in for the 50s, because you might be the fastest swimmer in the pool, but if you don't have the best start, you might not be up with the race to be able to go and get on that podium.
And our final 50 breaststroke race is the 17-18-year-olds. Another Hamilton aquatic swimmer there in lane 0, and that is Richard Koshbayev. In 1 from Inverclyde, Thomas Cannon. In 2, Cole Price of Perth City. In 3, Max Hagan of City of Glasgow. Then we've got Archie Goodburn in the red of Warrender in lane 4. John Keane in the blue for West Lothian in 5. Rory Dixon in 6 for North Ayrshire. Andrew Arthur of Aberdeen in 7. 8 is Ethan Horn of South Lanarkshire. And 9, Angus Nicol of City of Glasgow. So one swimmer got under the 30 seconds in the heats. That was Archie Goodburn. So you would think that Archie here is the one that they're all going to be playing, chasing. Let's see if that production comes through as they go off. So we talked about Archie at the beginning of the programme. He's thinking about other things later in the season, but it's about getting the job done here in Toll Cross on day 2 of the Scottish National Age Group Championships, and he looks to be doing just that. Going very nicely over on the far side is Richard Koshbayev of Hamilton Aquatics, but he can't keep up with Archie Goodburn. He takes the win in a pretty good time of 28.94. So solid stuff there from Archie. Came in on a 28.04. So that was a time he did last summer, right at the peak of his season, well rested. So 28.94 at this point, I think that would be pretty good. And progression from his heat swim of 29.67.
Yeah, absolutely, Duncan. As you say, it's about progressing and trying to go faster at night, but also especially just getting in and racing. Racing even although you're in hard training. But just another Hamilton Aquatics really strong start there out in lane 0, and that then goes and picks you up a bronze medal there.
So it's your medalist now for the 50 breaststrokes. First 2 age groups, the 11s, 13s and the 14s. It's your mucker, Andy Figgins, making the presentations here. He's a South Lanarkshire swimmer and also a Scottish Swimming Board member. And he gives the bronze medal in the 11 to 13 age group to Oscar Bilbao from Hamilton Aquatics, and in the 14 age group to James Keane of West Lothian. The silver medalist Callum Melville for the 11 to 13s from Grantham. Scott based down there in the East Midlands. And Matthew Hand, he's been on the podium a good number of times. Another trip for him. The Ard swimmer in Northern Ireland. And the gold medalist. We're talking about swimmers who've been on the podium plenty of times. Both of these two have. Stefan Kravis of East Lothian, another gold medal for him. And likewise, Elliot Woodburn of Kendal.
Yeah, they're making a good habit of it. And it'll be interesting to see how they both develop as age group swimmers in the coming years. Obviously we're seeing Elliot up here this year, but it'll be good to see him how he progresses through the summer championships this year. I'm sure we'll see him, and it'll be good to see him back again next year to see how he's progressed.
So James Keane there picking up the Top Scot Award gold medal for the 14-year-olds. So spectators, some of them seen their favourite swimmer. It's time to go off for dinner. Others are going to be seeing this through right to the last race. Here come our next set of presentations. These are the 15-year-olds and the 16-year-olds. And the bronze medalist in the 15-year-old age group, Matthew Garrity of Inverclyde. And in the 16-year-olds from Mount Kelly College, Louis Nguyen. The silver medalists, the 15 age group, Jamie Littlefield from Warrender. And in the 16-year-old age group from City of Glasgow, Douglas Kelly. He's grown a bit. I remember when he was a wee nipper.
Yeah, I've seen Douglas over the last few years at Youth Development Squad, and certainly from the first year I seen him a number of years ago to now, he's grown a fair bit.
And we've got the top of the podium dominated by Hamilton Aquatics, the 15-year-old champion Youssef Eldawi and the 16-year-old champion Tommaso Tavini. Congratulations to them. And the top Scot in the 15 age group, Jamie Littlefield. And 16-year-old Douglas Kelly. Oh, Youssef looks pretty happy to be up there at the top of the podium. And that's great to have the Hamilton Aquatics team here. As you said, we've seen their start skills, their turn skills, and I think Scottish coaches will be having a look at that, I would guess, and saying, right, okay. Yeah,
absolutely. And if you take some examples of Ross Douglas, the co-commentator last night, he used to coach out at Hamilton Aquatics. And we've had some coaches over the years that have coached out in Dubai, and then even some swimmers that have transferred from Dubai over into Scottish programmes. So we've got quite a close connection with the Hamilton Aquatics Club as well, so it's good to see them.
So we had a tie for the bronze medal in the 17-18 age group. I don't think I mentioned that in commentary, apologies for that. It was John Keane and Richard Koshbayev tying for the bronze medal, time of 30.04. The silver medalist, City of Glasgow's Max Hagan. And the gold medal in a pretty emphatic victory, Warrender's Archie Goodburn. So that concludes the sprints for tonight. It's 400s here on in. You a fan of the 400s, Derek?
Yeah. As a swimmer myself in my day, 400 IM, 400 freestyle, any of those distance events. As you know, Duncan, the programme that I come from, we're traditionally good on some of those distance type events, and that's something that we're working towards for the future again as well.
Yes, and I think we'll see that coming up later on in this 400 IM, which is coming up now for the girls. As we mentioned earlier, the youngsters have the rest of the night off now because they did their business this afternoon in a heat declared winner event. So we start with the 15-year-olds, and it's Gabriella Lessing in lane 0 for Ren 96, Imogen Collins of North Lanarkshire in 1, 2 is Rowan Saunders of Hearts, 3 Catherine Boddy of Geary, 4 is Scarlett Ferris of Dundee City Aquatics, 5 Lauren Chalmers of Ren 96, Catherine Bailey of Perth City in 6, Kaylin Hall of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Elise McQueenie of City of Glasgow in 8, Mari Craig of Stirling Swim in lane 9. Fastest qualifier for this one, 5:12, Scarlett Ferris of Dundee City Aquatics, Youth Development Squad member. So it'll be interesting to see what she can do here. 5:12.21 was her time in this morning's heats. 5:05 is her entry time, so you'd expect her to be there or thereabouts. So easy to spot in that dark purple hat. Of course, things can change as we go from stroke to stroke here. So you can't tell maybe too much from the fly lead off. What's the important part in this opening fly? not to lose it at this stage, or to try and, if it is your strength, to really maximise it?
Even if it's your strength, you've got to apply enough speed to what you're doing, but with enough control to be able to go and apply pressure on the other strokes. It's one of those difficult ones. Even if you see at the top level, some of them can go out too fast on butterfly, but it's applying enough control that really the key for me, if as coaching, I would look for the swimmers to be working in towards that 100 turn and trying to change stroke and getting on to backstroke and get into a positive rhythm as early as possible as you change stroke.
Well, Catherine Bailey very much is a fly swimmer, and she is leading this one off pretty strongly in lane 6 for Perth City, going through the 100 in 1:07.83. That is a lead of about 2.3 seconds over the swimmers in the centre lanes. Lauren Chalmers went into the wall in second place, but I think Scarlett Ferris coming out of it in second. So again, there's turning stills, quick to go from stroke to stroke. Just maybe advantaging Scarlett there in that second, third place contest, and they are maybe just slowly now eating into the lead that Catherine Bailey had from the fly. Lane 3 is Catherine Body of Geary. I was talking earlier with colleagues about the Geary programme and just how hard they were, and of course that is Hannah Miley's stamping ground. And well, if you want a prime example of 400 IM excellence, look no further.
Absolutely, and yeah, as we know, they've got a strong setup there in terms of producing medley swimmers, and that seems another one that's coming through the ranks with Catherine there as well.
But it still is the Perth girl, Catherine Bailey.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this stage because I know Scarlett's got a really strong backstroke leg, but maybe she's just going to, and it's applying those tactics to be able to be really strong on breaststroke and try and work that leg to get ahead. That was a really nice turn from Scarlett there, so we'll see if she can try and swim away on this leg.
Well, she's certainly made her move, hasn't she? She's moved up now into the lead as we settle into the breaststroke, but it's still a four-way contest here. Catherine Body, Scarlett Ferris, Lauren Chalmers, Catherine Bailey, all in the contest. Then a bit of a gap to the next base swimmers, Rounds Saunders, we saw with that excellent swim earlier. And in lane 8, Elise McQueenie of City of Glasgow. But it's going to be Scarlett now, halfway through the breaststroke.
Yeah, and the important factor now is getting some of those skills right, being strong off this wall, but especially as we come in to the end of the breaststroke leg, if you can transfer onto freestyle and really make a break as early as possible, then that sets you up to try and create a bigger gap between yourself and anyone that might be behind you swimming breaststroke.
When you're watching 400 IMs, you all seem to see that, okay, so the best breaststroke, obviously they go through strongly in the breaststroke, but very often it follows through into the freestyle as well, and it's very hard, even if on paper you're a faster freestyle than the other one, to get that momentum at the end of a 400 IM.
Yeah, and that's one of the key messages for that, and I'd be looking for Scarlett to really push off this wall, because that could secure that gold medal for her, so we'll see if she does that.
4:01.30 for her at the 300 metres, lead now well 3¼ seconds. The scrap is for the silver medal. Lane 5, Lauren Chalmers, well, for N96, has second place at the moment from the early leader, Catherine Bailey. She will be trying to keep Catherine Body behind her to get herself onto the podium. Rowan Saunders in fourth, but I think she's probably got too much to do to feature here. We'll wait and see how this works out.
Yeah, but as you can see from that breaststroke to freestyle transition, Scarlett was about 3.5 metres ahead as she touched the wall on breaststroke, and by 15 metres out she was about 5 metres ahead. So that's the importance of being able to get onto freestyle while your opponents are doing the slower stroke.
And certainly there's no doubt who's going to get the gold here. It's going to be a Dundee gold, but who's going to get the silver? Because Catherine Bailey has found some extra pace here in the closing stages. She's right up there with Lauren Chalmers. Oh, on the touch. It just goes to Lauren by 0.08 of a second. That's the difference between silver and bronze, but a good win, 5:12. 89 for Scarlett Ferris. So slightly slower, 700th than she was in the heats. Will she be disappointed with that she wasn't faster?
You can always be disappointed that you're not going faster, but it's a difficult one. That's why when we get to this age group, that the 11 to 13s and the 14s age group, they only do it as heat declared winner in the afternoon, because it's such a difficult ask to replicate that twice in the short space of a few hours.
And I imagine that these girls, the 15-year-old girls in particular, won't have done that maybe ever before.
Yeah, and it might have been a year ago since, in fact, they won't have done that yet, unless they've made it back for junior finals at some other events out there. But certainly it's a new experience for them, and being able to do that this morning and then come back tonight, that's what we train for, but it's got to experience that to develop that further for the future, to go faster in the finals.
So the 16-year-olds there on the blocks, all ready to go now there. Quickly run through the field for you. Megan Ruddy of South Lanarkshire in 0. Maria Cabrelli of Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Alicia Bain, Aberdeen Performance in 2. Ellie Riley of Hearts in 3. Bea Varley of Hamilton Aquatics in 4. Ellie Turner of Carnegie in 5. Jennifer Murray of North Ayrshire in 6. Morven Lister of Carnegie in 7. Holly Shand of Elgin in 8. Jenny Galloway of Warrender in lane 9. So Bea Varley, 4:58 in the heat, quite a bit faster than anybody else. Ellie Turner, we saw winning in the backstroke earlier. So she is in lane 5. She has a pretty good pedigree as a 400 IMer as well.
Yeah, she does. But it'll be interesting to see what way Ellie swims this one, because we were talking about tactically beforehand. We know Ellie's got a really strong backstroke because we watched her earlier in the session in the 100 backstroke. So we'll see, but it looks like Ellie's trying to get out there early on the fly and try and take on this front half of the swim.
So she's got, half a metre or so's advantage coming down the second length, starting to build that now. Just behind them, Jennifer Murray in 6, the breaststroke specialist we saw in the top of the podium earlier. Ellie Riley in lane 3. So she could feature later on when we get to breaststroke. But it is Carnegie swimmer Ellie Turner, and she goes through 1:08.34, a lead of 1.3 after the butterfly. Now into her favoured backstroke. Bea Varley just having a bit of a challenge at the moment, which perhaps is slightly unexpected.
Again, we don't know too much about the Hamilton swimmers, for some of them that are coming over. So although we didn't see Bea in the 100 backstroke earlier, she might be a strong backstroker. So it's good to see she actually closed right up on Ellie and actually just turning in the lead there.
Yep, 1:46.20 against 1:46.51, and showing good turn skills there. These two now have stretched the gap over the others. It is lane 3, Ellie Riley in 3rd place, ahead of Jennifer Murray. But it is Varley and Turner at the front of the race, and still just about, a metre or so advantage for the Hamilton Aquatic swimmer, Bea Varley. So she has the advantage going into the breaststroke, 2:23.73 against 2:24.44. Ellie Riley, you would think will make some progress in this breaststroke, but she's quite a long way back, so it's a big ask, you would think, to make up the 6 seconds that she is behind Bea Varley, who is just opening up the lead now in the breaststroke.
Yeah, Bea looks as if she's got 4 really strong strokes at the moment. I'm guessing she's going to go into freestyle and be strong as well. But certainly she's just opening up that gap at the moment.
So we'll see what the gap is halfway through the breaststroke. 3:06.04 for Bea, 3:07.95 for Ellie, so lead up to 1.9 now. So looking very much like a Bea Varley victory, you would say, at the moment. Ellie Riley is certainly making some inroads against Ellie Turner, but I don't think she's going to catch her in the breaststroke, and I don't think she'll catch her in the freestyle.
No, I know Ellie Turner, she's a strong freestyler as well, so she'll be trying to make the most of trying to close the gap to Bea Varley, rather than trying to worry too much about Ellie Riley chasing her.
So the gap around 3 metres or so, and then a couple of metres now between Ellie Turner and Ellie Riley. As they head now into the freestyle, the 2.1 seconds, so it was 1.9, now up to 2.1, the gap. Ellie Riley has got herself within touching distance of Ellie Turner, so she does need to just be aware of that, Ellie Turner, because Ellie Riley will push on strongly in the freestyle as well.
Yeah, interestingly, just watching that turn there, Duncan, from breast to free, Ellie Riley really came off the wall as strong as she could, trying to make sure that it's minimising any difference between breaststroke and freestyle, and it seems to be paying off at this stage.
But it's only one winner here, and well, yes, Ellie Riley, we thought she wouldn't be able to mount a challenge in the freestyle on Ellie Turner. I think we're wrong about that one. Bea Varley clear for the gold medal, but it's the two Ellies doing battle now for the silver, and of course the Scottish gold medal is at stake as well, and they are taking it pretty seriously here, those two, as Bea Varley comes in towards the wall. Excellent swim from her, under the 5 minutes, 4:57.50. Who's going to get the silver? Oh, so close it goes to Ellie Turner by 200ths of a second, so they swim for over 5 minutes and they're separated by 200ths of a second.
Yeah, we thought 8 100ths between two medals, and the last final was close, but that's just taking it right to the wire there. A good fight back from Ellie Turner, because I thought actually as Ellie Riley had come through at the 350 metre mark that she was then just going to progress on.
Yes, and all three of them making progressions from the heats to the finals, so maybe that's the difference between the 15-year-olds and the 16-year-olds. 16-year-olds just done that a little bit before, will have done it last year, and a little bit more experience about how to do that progression from heats to finals.
Yeah, it is, and although it's a fun event and it's serious at the same time.
Fun event?
Yeah.
400 IM? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think we'll need to get Hannah Miley on the phone. She'll agree with me that it's a fun event. But yeah, it's about experience and that, but it's about learning. Because if we want to take swimmers and progress into the senior ranks, we've got to learn from every experience that we're given.
17, 18-year-olds now. Claire Wallace in 0 for Ren 96. Rebecca Reid of Aberdeen in 1. Emma Scully of City of Glasgow in 2. Holly Houghton of Taunton Dean in 3. Yvonne Brown of South Lanarkshire in 4. Ailsa MacDonald, Northampton in 5. Serena Guaram, City of Glasgow in 6. Kiva Clegg of Boston in 7. Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics in 8. And Flora Nichols of Warrender in lane 9. Well, we talked about Yvonne Brown earlier on. She wasn't able to live with Katie Robertson. No surprise, National Age Group record, of course, from Katie. But she'll be looking to shine here in the last of our 400 IMs. So if you were briefing Yvonne before this race, what would you have told her?
Well, obviously Yvonne's got two pretty strong strokes, and she's been working really hard on backstroke and freestyle, so her strong strokes are fly and breaststroke, so she's got to get out positive, but she's really got to work the second 50s of each of the strokes and gain really good momentum. But she's also got to be aware that Ailsa MacDonald was also in that 200 breaststroke final with her, so it's not going to be as straightforward on breaststroke that you can go and make up ground or extend your lead as easy as you would normally be able to do that in some of the events. So it's about being aware of Ailsa being there and where is she, but trying to then do your own thing on each of the strokes and do the things that we work on in training.
So would you swim it differently because you've got different opposition?
It can be done. So it just depends who you're racing. So you're looking at this and you're saying at the moment, yeah, we've got to get out strong on butterfly, but Ailsa's also quite a strong flyer, but you want just that slight lead if you can, so that you can try and gain a bit of momentum on backstroke, because ideally for Yvonne you want to be hitting that 200 metre mark either level or just in front. If we can have a decent lead, then that would be really handy, because we know that she has such a strong breaststroker.
Well, 106.80 was Yvonne's split after the fly, and she's holding this lead nicely in the backstroke. She's 3 meters, perhaps more than that, up halfway through the backstroke.
Yeah, it's one of the strokes that she's been working really hard on. I watched her recently at Edinburgh International Swim, and she put a really strong backstroke leg in there also. So it's something that Andy and Yvonne have been working on to make sure that we can make her a better all-round medley swimmer.
And certainly she's showing those all-round skills at the moment. Good backstroke coming in here from Serena Iguarum in lane 6, and that's moved her ahead of Ailsa McDonald into second place. So that's again, I guess, an example of a swimmer using her skills to maximise her advantage, because you would think Ailsa will be looking to come back at Serena in the breaststroke. Nice turn there. Also in lane 3, Holly Houghton, the Scot based down in Taunton Dean. But Yvonne must be feeling pretty good about this, I would think, at this stage.
Yeah, it's looking quite good for Yvonne at the moment. Obviously, you wouldn't see her being caught on breaststroke here, although Ailsa is a really strong breaststroker as well. But Yvonne will be looking to, even although she's into her stride on breaststroke, try and really apply extra pressure in this second 50. But it's getting quite tight there for second and third, so that'll be an interesting contest as well.
Yeah, Ailsa McDonald has moved back up. Certainly she's left Serena Iguarum in her wake, and it's now doing battle with Holly Houghton in lane 3, and Ailsa just opening up the gap over Holly on the second half of the breaststroke, but not making inroads on the Yvonne Brown lead here, because, as you said, Derek, Yvonne, very strong breaststroker. We saw that with her silver medal in the 200 breaststroke earlier, and she's got, what, 5 meters, maybe more than that, as she comes down towards the freestyle. Through she goes.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at that turn there at 3:47.2. Certainly if Yvonne can put in her best 100 free that she's done on a 400 IM at roughly 107.5, then that's certainly going to bring her a fair bit inside her own personal best as well.
Yes, so she came into this meet with a 4:58. She actually was a bit faster than that in Edinburgh 10 days ago, 4:57. So if she can get inside that, well, that would be really very nice at this point in the season to be doing these personal bests. Fairly rare for the 17, 18-year-olds to be doing PBs at this point in the season. So this is really an excellent swim, the last female swim of the evening. And, well, this is turning into a bit of a masterclass from Yvonne Brown. It's certainly looking good now for Ailsa McDonald for the silver medal ahead of Holly Houghton. So that, I think, is going to be our 1, 2, 3. But, well, South Lanarkshire will be pretty happy, I think, about what they're seeing here at the front of this race. Yvonne Brown showing a lot of class here as she comes in, 4:57.11. So that, well, pretty much bang on the time that she did in Edinburgh.
Yeah, it's a terrific swim from Yvonne. She'll be delighted with that again. And that kicks off South Lanarkshire's first gold for the meet as well, which is quite nice.
So we saw North Lanarkshire pick up their first gold. Now South Lanarkshire said, anything you can do, we can do as well. So well done to Yvonne Brown. It was Ailsa McDonald taking the silver, 5:04.09, and Holly Houghton, 5:05.48. Bronze medalist. There's confirmation and the full result on your screen. And straight back to the podium for our 400 IM presentations. We start with the 15-year-olds and the 16-year-olds. Forbes Dunlop, the soon-to-depart Chief Executive Officer of Scottish Swimming, with a great stint that he has put in over the last few years, off to Sports Scotland as Chief Operating Officer. We wish him all the best with that. Bronze medalist. That was a brave swim from Catherine Bailey there of Perth City to take her bronze. And Ellie Riley also. Well, that was quite an interesting swim from her in the 16-year-olds. Really turned on the pace and pushed Ellie Turner all the way. Silver medalists. Lauren Chalmers in the 15-year-old age group from Ren 96, and Ellie Turner with that, well, really had to work for that silver medal in the end over Ellie Riley. But two pretty emphatic gold medals swims here. Scarlett Ferris of Dundee City Aquatics in the 15-year-old age group. And Bea Varley, Hamilton Aquatics in the 16-year-old age group.
Yeah, I'm sure Scarlett's dad will also be chuffed to bits with that. I actually got a message just through while she was swimming from Robin to say go Scarlett go, so I'm sure he's sitting watching it on the live stream tonight as well.
Well, she did go. So the Scottish champion in the 16 age group, Ellie Turner, just from Ellie Riley. And the 17, 18-year-olds right there. The bronze medalist from Taunton Deane, Holly Houghton. The silver medalist from Northampton, Ailsa MacDonald. And the gold medalist, looking fresh as a daisy, South Lanarkshire's Yvonne Brown.
She's probably just putting on the smile again. She will be tired. She'll need to go and do quite a long swim down after this, but she'll never show that she's tired.
So calm pool at the moment, but we've still got 3 more races to go. It's boys 400 freestyle coming up. There will be 3 of them again. Again, the youngsters swam heat declared winner this afternoon. So we start with the 15-year-olds. Here they come. Leading them out, City of Glasgow's Ben Galloway. One last wee sook of water as he goes to the blocks. Beside him from East Lothian is Luke Porteous. In lane 2, Mulgai and Bears 10 swimmer Rory McKinnon. In 3, from Aberdeen Performance, John Taylor. And his teammate in lane 4, Cameron Travis. Lane 5, Millfield School swimmer Evan Jones. 6 is Matthew Garrity of Inverclyde. 7, Archie Dixon of City of Glasgow. In 8, Leon Campbell of Stirling Swim. And in lane 9, Craig MacDonald from Western Partnership. Cameron Travis and Evan Jones, 2 fastest qualifiers, 4:20 and 4:23. John Taylor on a 4:25. There's the lineup, just confirmation of that. Like Scarlett's dad, you can tweet on #Snacks2019 as this. Well, it's not the penultimate race. What's the one before a penultimate race? The 3rd last race gets underway. Good start in lane 2. Rory McKinnon of Mulgai and Bearsden. Now settling into his swim, Cameron Travis. He looks like he's going to be making an early statement here. Although covering it now in the green cap, Evan Jones. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Duncan, in terms of it's what tactics you choose to employ on this. You can go out strong, or you can get out and just be there or thereabouts and then try and work in and work into one of the turns, and if your opponent doesn't quite work that turn, you can then start to build a gap or even generate a lead. But Cameron Travis looks good coming into this 100 turn, looks quite controlled at the moment, similar to Evan Jones. We'll start to take shape more as we head towards the 200 metre mark, but both boys in the centre lanes there look really long and smooth, and that's an important place to be at the moment.
Rory McKinnon in lane 2 is sticking out with them. There's a strong start in lane 9 as well at the bottom of your screen from Craig MacDonald. I wonder if he can stay close to the front runners. Does look like it's developing though into a lane 4, lane 5 battle. Cameron versus Evan through 150, 1600 separating them in Cameron's favour. Look to let a little nudge out of that turn.
Yeah, Cameron Travis just seemed to get a little bit more purchase off the wall there than Evan, and that could be crucial when we get to the last 100 metres of the race, that if Cameron has been just getting a wee edge on each turn, he might have that little bit extra energy if it comes to a sprint at the end.
And he is, about a metre up now at the halfway turn, 208.94 against 209.27. Got the lead up to about 3/10. Third place, still going very nicely in lane 2, Rory McKinnon. So he's still not that far away from the top 2. Behind him now is John Taylor, the Aberdonian. And then Matthew Garrity of Inverclyde just behind him, but still it is the 2 in the centre lane, and in particular Cameron Travis.
Yeah,
Again, he's going to turn just ahead. Yeah,
and we can just see the gaps starting to appear in behind these front 2 guys now. It looks like Cameron Travis has really put a press on at the start of this third 100 and really coming through, but Evan's really taking it on and going with him at the moment.
Yeah, he seems to be coming back a bit down this length towards the 300 metres, and well, the gap is still maybe a metre and a half. As you can see much more clearly from that camera shot, just the extent of the gap as we come to the 300. In terms of time, we're now up to 7:10, so it has been gradually growing as we go, maybe about 0.2 every length. So, well, Evan has to make his move now, and I think he might be having a go here as we come up towards the 350 turn. Do you really go now, or do you wait until after the turn?
If it's a difficult one. If it was me, I would go now, but it just depends. These guys all know each other's racing inside out. Although Evan swims down at Millfield, he does come up and compete in Scotland an awful lot, but Cameron's really worked that turn well there, because he's got to try and get away, but we're getting a tight one here now.
Yep, it's certainly not done yet. The gap did come down in that penultimate 50 to around about 3/4 and Evan is really pushing it hard here, but he's still a metre and a half behind Cameron Travis as we come into the final 10 metres, and Cameron, I think, is going to be able to hold this one on. He takes the win in 4:16.89, about 6/10 ahead of Evan Jones, 4:17.55 for him, and it was Rory McKinnon, really bronze medal all the way through there, 4:24 dead, so that was a good improvement on his 4:27 entry time. So it was an interesting one there, because it was close, but you always felt Cameron Travis had something there just to see it in the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, Duncan. For me, Cameron wins that on his turns, and that's where the skill level can come into it. Evan always just seemed to be fighting that extra little bit each 50 just to try and get back to Cameron, where Cameron was using those turns and those walls to just keep ahead enough. That made it far easier when it comes to that last 50 and you've got to pick up the pace.
So this now is the 16-year-old final. We have Ryan Duncan of St Thomas in 0, Sean Craig Mile of East Lothian in 1, Michael Flynn of North Lanarkshire in 2, Cameron Allison of Dumfries in 3, Jack Munsey of Perth City in 4, Angus Allison of Warrender in 5, Marcus Scullion of Portsmouth North Sea in 6, Daniel Saunders of Warrender in 7, Jamie Ferguson of Midlothian in 8, and Cameron Bilsland of South Lanarkshire in lane 9. Jack Munsey, 4:15.03 in the heat. Angus Allison, 4:15.32. Both youth squad members, so they will know each other very well indeed. So again, you would think that, you know, they'll know what they think the other one's going to do. Do you do something different just to put them off guard, or do you do what you always do and try and do it really well?
Well, I think on this one, just from what I watched in the boys, I think Jack Munsey's going to try and take this out pretty quick, because he knows that if you're in a tight race, Angus Allison is a really strong racer at the back end of swims. He's certainly someone that I wouldn't want to have in the lane next to me if you're coming up the last 50 and it's tight. So I can see that from Jack at the moment, that he's actually taking it out quite strong. So We'll see. I think Angus will be doing his best just to make sure he's staying with him, keep himself in the zone, to give himself the best opportunity at that back end of the swim.
So it is the two red caps, Perth and Warrender, and advantage Perth at the 100. 58.77 plays 59.34, so about half a second the gap between them. So when you said Jack will want to try and get clear of Angus so that he doesn't have a last 50 metre scrap, how far ahead do you think he has to get to have that comfort level?
It's difficult to say because we don't know how they're feeling in the water at the moment. But if I was Jack, I would want a body length, because looking at his body, he's pretty long, he's pretty tall. But Cameron is Angus, is one of those racers, and he'll just want to hang in and hang in and hang in. And we know certainly when you come from Warrender Baths, you're going to have a strong racing mentality as well. But I don't think we can discount Cameron Allison here from Dumfries. Dumfries have had a great meet so far, and he's maybe just taking it out with a bit more control and getting back on the two boys at the front here.
Well, that would teach us right if that comes to pass. If we talked about the two in the centre lanes, if Cameron Allison can sneak it. There's around 3/10 the gap now at the halfway mark, so Chap Munsey has not got away from Angus Allison, and Angus Allison now is closing him down. And as you said, Cameron Allison, so two Allisons as far as I know, not related. Angus and Cameron right up there with Chap Munsey, and it's now advantage Angus Allison in lane 5. And Cameron Allison up into second place at that turn, just touching ahead of Chap Munsey. But I don't think you can discount Chap by any means at the moment, though he's not got that body-led lead that you were saying he might like to have. It's a three-way race here. Well, we wanted tight races. We've got one here. It's a three-way affair.
And it's certainly not panning out the way I was expecting to, Duncan. I thought the two lads in the centre lanes would be pushing on here, but what a terrific third 100 from Cameron Allison there, and I just hope he's not gone too early. But certainly as you gain that momentum, as you come through your opponents, it makes it really difficult to respond.
So 8/10 clear at the 300 metre turn. He looks to be holding that lead down this second last length. Chap Munsey maybe just edged back into second place as we come up towards the final turn. Going into it then, it's going to be Cameron Allison. So he is the one asking questions of the others. He's now up by over a second, so he's actually extended his lead in that 50, and it's looking very good for the Dumfries swimmer now. The other two are battling for the silver. Surely they can't come back at Cameron Allison, but Angus Allison is having a go here. When you talked about what he could do in the final 50, he's certainly going to see off Jack Munsey. He's not, though, going to catch Cameron Allison. What a swim from the boy from Dumfries. 4:07.49 for him. Well, I think we're going to have to do a little bit of apologies down to the Dumfries team, because we did not see that coming, but that was a superb swim from Cameron Allison, and that is what swimming is all about, isn't it? When these things happen and you just see somebody just really raise their game.
Oh yeah, absolutely terrific result there. Really chuffed for Cameron Allison, and he actually applied the pressure, like I was saying, in the third 100 and getting onto 350 with that full body length for Angus Allison. And with how close it was at the end, it proved what I was saying. I knew that Angus would be steaming back in that last 50. I've seen it too many times before, but he maybe just caught the two boys in the centre lanes on the hop a little bit, Cameron Allison, to just get ahead.
Came into this meet on a 4:12, took that down to a 4:07.
Oh, absolutely terrific.
So our last race of what's been an excellent evening is the 17 to 18 years 400 freestyle. George Cowan of St Thomas is in 0. Sonny Kennedy of Warrender in 1. Keir Buchanan of South Lanarkshire in 2. Finlay Saunders of Hearts in 3. Liam McLaughlin of Warrender in 4. Daniel Ferguson of West Lothian in 5. Angus Rutherford of Hearts in 6. Greg Fairbairn of North Lanarkshire in 7. Maxwell Cattermole of St Thomas in 8. to Rory Dixon from North Ayrshire in 9. Well, we saw a superb race just now. This could be another really close one. So Derek, you talked about this race at the top of the broadcast about how tight it could be. What do you see coming up in this next 4 minutes?
Yeah, I don't see it being a clear winner from anywhere at the moment. I did say beforehand, just as we started the broadcast, that we've got some guys in the centre lanes that can be pushing for medals, but as we see Greg Fairbairn pushing on early, that's someone I see in the West District Championships quite a bit. I'm not surprised to see him taking it out and being in the mix, so I don't really think the heat swims are much to go by on this one, and certainly for me it's wide open between about 5 or 6 swimmers here.
Greg Fairbairn is the one who's taken it strong in lane 7, North Lanarkshire swimmer. Will this be a very tactical race, do you think?
Yeah, again, it's about being out there and being in the race. You don't want to be too far behind, especially as you get to those older age groups, and it's really difficult to try and close down. If I was being tactical, I would want to try and be ahead of Daniel Ferguson. I've watched him over the years growing up as an age group swimmer, and he's got a really strong 50, like we were talking about Angus Allison in the previous final. But Daniel seems to be putting himself in a good position here at the moment.
Yeah, but he's in the blue cap there in lane 5, and has he got himself into the lead? Looks like he might have done at the 150. And he has 1:30.44, up by 3/10 from the early leader, Greg Fairbairn, who's still certainly there or thereabouts. Then in lane 4, Liam McLaughlin. He's a swimmer who's made a lot of progress in the last year or so. He's focusing on, well, this is probably a shortish race for Liam, good distance man.
Yeah, I actually had Liam in my group at the Youth Development Squad camp when we were there in December. And he's got a tremendous attitude towards his training and his application and effort. So it'll be interesting to see how he can come back in the second 200 as well.
He's only a 10th behind Daniel Ferguson at the halfway mark. These two now look as though they are the ones taking it on. Greg Fairbairn in 3rd place, but a little bit back. It does look like Daniel Ferguson has reacted to the challenge from Liam McLaughlin, just pushing out the lead again.
Yeah, Daniel's looking really strong again in the water, and he's got really strong turns as well. And it's been able to, and obviously Daniel will know Liam from swimming in the East as well, so he'll know what his tactics need to be, and he seems to be really driving this 3rd 100 on.
Yes, so very much making a move in this 3rd 100. Look at those legs go. He's really working hard. Is it a bit surprising to see him putting that much into the legs at this stage?
Yeah, from what I've seen in Daniel in the past, it's something that he didn't used to do. He used to hold that back, knowing that he had a good sprint, but maybe now that we're getting a little bit older, he's learning to put the application and effort across all 850s in the swim. And he's certainly going about it in the right way here, because this is a lot more stretched out than I expected this race to be before we even started the events today.
Yes, we were saying 4 or 5 evenly matched swimmers. Well, doesn't look that way at the moment, unless something very surprising happens down this final 50. It is Daniel Ferguson. Turns for home, 3:34.99, leads by over a second and a half. And well, we talked about you wanted to be a body length ahead of Angus Allison. You're a body length over ahead of Liam McLaughlin, and that's where you want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daniel was the one I was thinking you want to be a body length ahead of. So if you're already taking that on, you've got a really strong place to go from.
So a really solid swim to finish off the night. 4:04.86 for Daniel Ferguson. So right up there, close to his best times. 2nd place, Liam McLaughlin, 4:06.20 for him. Also within a second of his best times. And taking 3rd there, perhaps a bit of a surprise there, Finlay Saunders coming through at the end and pushing on nicely. In the end, 3 seconds clear of Greg Fairbairn, who was prominent in the early stages.
Yeah, so I think Greg maybe just paid for that early pace that he was setting in the first 100. and that's where it's trying to be in the race, but you've also got to ensure you've got enough to be able to stay in the race in those key areas in the middle section.
So our final piece of action for this evening is our presentations for this 400 freestyle, and that was a pretty decent freestyler making these presentations here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Robbie Rennick, of course, one of the stars of Scotland and Great Britain over the years, including Olympic medals in the 4x200. He gives the bronze medals out to the 15-year-old Rory McKinnon of Mulgai and Bearsden and the 16-year-old Jack Munsey of Perth City.
Yeah, I think it's always great to see an inspirational character like Robbie coming back for all the silverware and the amount of medals he's won at world and Olympic level, to come back, and because he started here as well. He started at Scottish age groups, so it's just really good to see.
There's the silver medalist Evan Jones of Millfield School in the 15-year-old age group, and Angus Allison in the 16-year-old age group. Some great swims to win this. The gold medalist in the 15-year-old age group, Cameron Travis of Aberdeen Performance, and in the 60 age group, what a swim that was, Cameron Allison of Dumfries. Fantastic stuff from him, and you can see they're just coming to the back. Oh, wait your turn, it's photo time first.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one of those swims of the evening, but certainly Cameron Allison's is up there for tonight as one of those best swims that we've witnessed for tonight.
Yeah, it was. One last presentation to go. These 17, 18-year-olds, and the bronze medal going to Finlay Saunders. Good back end to his swim. Silver medalist Liam McLaughlin of Warrender, and a really solid swim from our final champion of the night, West Lothian's Daniel Ferguson. So congratulations to them. So you talked about that Cameron Allison swim. Is that your highlight of the night then, Derek?
It's probably second. I would always want to put my South Lanarkshire swimmers up there first with Yvonne's 400 IM.
Cry foul on that one.
Yeah, but certainly in terms of the way that he went about the swim, that was one of the best constructed swims that we've seen this evening.
And of course that national age group record in the 200 breaststroke from Katie Robertson very early on in the evening. So that's just about it from us. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. There's fantastic swims that we've seen on day 2 of the Scottish National Age Group Championships. We'll be back again tomorrow. We hope to see you then. But for now, from myself, Duncan McKinnell, from my co-commentator, Derek McGowan, thank you very much for joining me, Derek.
Thanks, Duncan.
And we'll wish you a very good evening.